Hello and welcome to LabGab, a live stream variety show that showcases events, destinations, and different talents across Second Life. I'm your host, Strawberry Linden. Today on our show, we have some members of the Eeep team: Senior Software Engineer Ryder Linden, Senior Graphics Engineer Ptolemy Linden, and Principal Software Engineer Euclid Linden. Welcome to the show, Ryder, Ptolemy, and Euclid.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, so before we actually get into the questions about Eep, can I get all of you to give me a quick introduction of yourselves, how long you've been at a Linden Lab, and what your focus is on? So, Ryder, why don't you tell us first?
All right. Well, I've been at the lab for 5 years now. In fact, I just had my res day last month. Um,
Happy
my
Res Day!
current, well, thank you. Uh, I've my current focus is primarily on the simulator side, so making sure the regions are all running. Um, I I started the project about 2 years ago when I was doing more viewer work, and we can get into that further as we go on.
Awesome. So, how about you, Euclid?
I'm pretty new to the lab. I've been here about 6 months. And prior to coming on board, I wasn't an actual Second Life user. So I'm pretty much a neophyte. I am a newbie, but learning quickly. I work primarily on the graphics rendering engine for the viewer. And, uh, and I've only known Eep in my time here. We came on board, immediately started working on Eep, and have never known any other viewer besides that.
Nice. And I love that. I have to say, I love your avatar too. It's really cool. So,
Thanks.
Ptolemy, what about you?
Hi. I'm
Hi.
like Euclid. I'm new to the lab as well. Been here roughly 6 months, maybe going on 7. My passion is graphics, optimizations, and UI. So like Euclid, primarily focus on getting EEP at the door. So now where that's out, we can actually focus on future graphics work. So excited to see what we bring to the table coming up.
Well, I'm excited to have you all here. So now let's get into EEP. What is EEP exactly? Can you tell us more about what it is and how it came to fruition?
EEP stands for the Environmental Enhancement Project. It it started out as just a better way of handling wind lights. We wanted to be able to do wind lights on parcels. We wanted wind lights as actual inventory objects that the residents could trade or sell on the marketplace. Um, we we ended up adding some new features to the wind to wind lights to sort of, since we were in there playing anyway. Um, it it so in general, just a big push to improve the entire environment in Second Life.
So what are some of the benefits about EEP?
Well, environments in your inventory is a huge win. You
Yeah.
can that means that, again, you could sell them on the marketplace. You could trade them. Uh, you can, since they're actually assets in our system now, you can set a wind light on a parcel without having to worry about whether your visitors have the particular XML file. Um, you've got a lot more flexibility in the sun and the moon, being able to set the sun, being able to set a sun texture, being able to move them independently. You have customized cloud layers. You can set custom textures for clouds. Uh, the um, the the added scripting, the added scripting functionality, where scripts can now be aware of the environment conditions where they're running, both for the region or for the parcel. Uh,
There's
being
less
able to see.
crashing too, I think, right?
We have seen much less crashing on the Eeep viewer. Its crash rate is just astoundingly low.
That's great news. Great to hear. I hear you cutting out a little bit. Not sure if it's lag on my part. Um,
I'll
so there are, I'm going to go on to the next question. There are still 75 unresolved issues regarding Eep in the release notes of the current Second Life viewer. Will Linden Lab continue to work on it, or will Eep remain as it is now released?
I'm sure it will not remain as it is over time. Um, we had a much larger list than that at some point, and we basically released Eep once we had knocked off everything that was considered major or severe. When we got all the major and severe issues closed, was when we decided to release. But we are aware that there's quite a few remaining that were considered minor, you know, less severe, or just a corner case that that a user was unlikely to get themselves into, so unlikely for a bug to be seen. Um, those remaining issues we're kind of going to address on a as time allows basis. We're not really focused on closing them all, but if we start getting feedback, from the users that one of them, which we've classified as a corner case, is actually impacting a lot of people through the forums or through JIRAs, we definitely will focus on that.
So there will be more changes depending on the severity of the issues and all. So that's good to hear. Can the Eep editor window be smaller and semi-transparent? With those with a smaller monitor, it seems that they're having difficulties to see Second Life because it can take up a lot of the screen when it's open. So this is like a UI change request, I guess.
Yeah, there is a larger project at the lab right now to examine some of the UI, examine a lot of the UI in the viewer, and Eep is certainly on that list. Thankfully, so yeah, yes. I mean, I think I think we will be adjusting that UI.
Okay, that's good to hear. I think there's another one. Can we switch Eep presets by scrolling through a drop-down list? Having to activate each one individually isn't optimal. I actually prefer that it's in the inventory. I didn't like the way the wind lights were a drop-down list before, but I think other people prefer it the other way. So is that something that will be offered? So there's both options?
Um, Inventory that actually gets into a larger project, and I don't know where on the map this may or may not be.
Hmm.
But you're you're looking at a generalized inventory preview. So being able to scroll through your inventory and have some kind of preview as to what you're looking at. So it's a much larger problem than just Eep.
That's true. But also having an inventory also lets you, well, gives you the option to share it with others as well.
But yes, having an item in inventory lets you share it. I think the the benefit of having the inventory item over an external XML is, you know, more than makes up for that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So after the April 2019 Linden Lab teleport disconnect problem, will Eep affect teleport and region crossings?
Not at all. We um, we've actually you the servers this teleport and region crossing is all handled on the simulators, on the servers,
Hmm.
and in truth, people the simulators have supported Eep for a little over a year now. So all of your region crossings right now are essentially Eep region crossings. Um, the there I've heard some concerns about transitions. I encourage people to get the viewer and try them. The transitions are very smooth and good. If you start a second transition between, say, a region, if you're moving rapidly between regions, they get smoothed out over time. So you don't get a sudden you don't get sudden jarring
Yeah, there's like a
environment
nice
changes.
fade. I remember just the other day I walked a region crossing and it just faded into really smoothly into the next environment, which was pretty cool. I think that's what you're talking about, right? The transition.
That's exactly what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, I really like that new option as well. So there was a tutorial video offered with the release of this new feature, and it used a voice morpher, and it is difficult to understand. So where can we get more information on how to use Eep, and will there be another tutorial made without the use of a voice morpher?
Let's see. There's the the Second Life wiki has a tutorial on it.
Yeah.
That we've written. There's also Pay had written a truly amazing EEP EEP how-to tutorial, and I very much encourage people to do that as well.
Yeah, I have the our wiki page linked in the description of the video. I've also just shared it in the YouTube chat, but I've also shared in RPA's tutorial. It's really well done, and hopefully once I'm actually learning Eat myself, so once I have that down, maybe in a week or two, I'll try to do maybe a live stream or something where I share some of the settings and how to use it, and perhaps share some of my own environment settings, since we can do that now, which is good news. So does Eep work on third-party viewers?
The the third party viewers from what I've been told, are actively integrating EEP right now. So
So, but
soon.
so there aren't any that currently have it, I believe, or I'm not sure.
Not that I know of.
Okay. And will creators in Second Life have to update their objects in order to look normal under the new Eep settings?
We hope to a minimal extent. A lot of our time has been spent trying to make sure that Eep renders objects the same way the previous system viewer did. So of course it's not 100%. We got as close as we could, but there is some risk that you'll see some subtle differences. And if they're really breaking changes, we encourage everyone to let us know with the JIRA, because we really tried to avoid that, but it's possible that some got through. So
So maybe
the short
some
answer
minor.
is, yeah, we know there could be some minor differences. If there's something that really looks major, we really want to hear about it.
Okay, that's good to know. So they can just file a JIRA, a bug report kind of thing?
Yep.
Okay. Eep gives us the option to create our own environment settings and share them with our friends. How do we do that? And are we also allowed to sell our environments?
You are absolutely allowed and encouraged to sell your products. We provide we've provided an editor. Probably the easiest way uh, to create your own would be to simply create a new settings object of whatever type, either sky, water, or full day cycle in your inventory. Um, you simply click it and click it, and that will open the editor. You can adjust the settings. You can import your old wind lights that way as well.
Right, so I just quickly showed how they can create a new setting, and I'm just playing around with the sliders just to show that. I'm going to go back to I made a setting for LabGap, and I have it
Oh,
actually set on the region, so hopefully you guys see it too when you landed, how I see the setting on my stream. But yeah, it's very easy to start creating your own settings and play around with them and mess with that. So yeah, that's good. So the next question is, I miss my old win lights. Is there a way I can have them back?
Absolutely, you can
Yeah.
import them. Again, create a strawberry, as you were just showing strawberry.
Yeah.
You create a settings object in your inventory, and there should be a big import button down at the bottom.
That's
And
right.
if
I
you
want to make sure I show it on my screen properly. Import here,
uh,
and then it opens up you can go just find where you save your win light settings and open them up. And let me just import one of the Barcelona ones from before. I've imported it, and you see the setting has changed. And if I want to save it, you said I can hit save as, right? And I can
if
name
you
it something
say
else. Uh-huh.
right, this is a trick for importing just importing a bunch. We allow you to save as, which will save your environment as a new inventory object. So if you import save as, and then repeat the process for all the for all the win lights you'd like to import, it will you'll just have each of those as a new inventory item in your inventory.
So you can basically just copy, like bring in all your old inventories. Another thing I noticed, which maybe a lot of people already know about, that there were some settings already in our library. So if you open up your library, there are some environments in there, and a lot of those are some of the older Winlights that a lot of people use. So you can actually copy those over, which I already did, into my settings folder, and I can go back and use a lot of those. So a lot of them are already uploaded, the popular Winlights that people were using before, into our library.
Yes, Firestorm actually uh, may, gave us a number of their old win lights to be converted and included in the library. You can further customize those as well.
In the when you click on the settings and it
Right.
opens
If
it up,
you
you can go in
exactly.
and then you can play with all the sliders there. You can even and the one thing I like is you can change the textures on the moon and the clouds. So you can have a moon, like maybe I'll create a setting with a cat on the moon or something. So you can, really create some unique environments like that.
Yeah, I have in my region I have a large clock face on my so
I actually went to, I'm going to cam out for a second. I actually went to your region, Ryder, and I took a couple of pictures there. This was the same, I don't, if you see the pictures right above our heads, this was like the same region, and you had different environments on two, I guess there were different parcels. It was
yes.
right. So you can have different environments set to different parcels, and these are just raw shots that I took on your region, which is absolutely is it open to the public?
Uh,
No.
no.
Don't want
Uh,
to.
unfortunately.
Okay, but it's really well done, and I love that you had all these different environments set for the different parcels. Just gonna leave it zoomed out so you guys can see the pictures. The next question we had, so it's easy to import the win lights in because Eep, besides Eep, which looks awesome. Can we expect more graphic updates to Second Life? Things like better ambient inclusion, reflective surfaces, lens flares, and whatnot.
Engine development is going to be ongoing, so if there is something you'd like to see from render enhancement, please let us know as a feature request. And the reason that Jira is important is because it says a couple of things. It allows us to kind of gauge interest to see, like, say, what do people want to see in the engine, and it also helps us to prioritize future graphics work. So engine is not static; it's definitely ongoing development. Just let us know what you would like to see if there's something missing, and we can see how that fits into priority-wise and scheduling-wise.
So people can just file feature requests in the Jira to get the attention. Okay,
Absolutely.
Yes.
great. So we desperately, okay, the next question, obviously these questions are coming from the community. We desperately need a new engine. Will that ever happen?
Well, I'm not sure I will 100% agree with the premise, but the engine is the rendering engine is a little bit long in the tooth in certain areas, for sure. Second Life will never sort of adopt an existing commercial engine. We are just too highly adapted to the content that we have in world, and it'd be pretty much unfeasible to take an existing game engine and adapt to it. But like I said, we do know that the engine has some legacy paths in it that we have already started to carve out, and we do have some impetus to push us to make changes. Most significantly at the moment is the deprecation of OpenGL on Mac OS. We have to have a solution for that. So we're definitely looking at how we're going to evolve the rendering engine in the not too distant future to overcome that hurdle, and that's that will have the effect of updating a lot of things in the rendering system.
To add to Euclid's, I guess the snarky question or answer would be, didn't we already try that? On a more serious note, as Euclid points out, there's just a lot of work involved with that. And literally, we have decades of development into the current engine. So to throw all that away and start with a new engine off the shelf, so to speak, would kind of set us back a year or two at least, because our rendering pipeline is highly specialized for Second Life and its needs, and other engines don't quite have the same focus. So with user-generated content, that provides Second Life in a unique position, so to speak. And so at this time, using an off-the-shelf engine doesn't really make a lot of sense from both a financial point of view, time-wise point of view, feature point of view. So there's many reasons why that's a no. But like I said, the current engine we have, we're going to continue working on it, continue to add features to it, and meet the evolving needs of what people would like to see. So
Makes sense. So the next question is, I have a really good idea to improve Second Life and feel like it would make a great new feature. Who can I talk to about this? So yeah, we already kind of
Jira,
Jira.
Jira.
Yeah. So I'm going to share the
Uh,
links in the YouTube chat if you go to jira.secondlife.com.
yes, absolutely. We actually actively go through all feature requests. We have a there's a we go through at least once a week. We go through and look at all the feature requests that have come in for the previous week.
And I think a lot of the feature requests, like a lot of the updates, have been through a request that came in from the community. Is that correct? Like a lot of the ideas of new features and so forth. I think,
Quite frequently,
yeah,
quite frequently.
because of course the community is the one using the viewer the most, so they're the ones who probably have the most experience with it on a daily basis. So that was pretty much all my questions, and I haven't really seen any coming in on the YouTube channel as much. Was there anything else? I'm gonna cam out. Uh, Everybody's gonna see my big secret LabGab studio on my bear, but I just wanted to cam out and show some of the lighting that's already in our library that I've copied over. I'm just gonna kind of go through them quickly because there is already a lot of environments there. And then once I learn how to edit my own, do you guys have any other things that you wanted to suggest or talk about or tell us about while I just kind of go through these? Were there any other questions that the residents have been asking you that we didn't cover in today's?
Well, I would just like to give Euclid Ptolemy a huge shout out for 6 months,
Yeah,
coming in and getting it across the finish line in 6 months.
that's amazing. You guys have been 6 months and they've really pushed it out the door. Because I know it's been a long process with Eep.
Oh
yeah,
yes,
I would say the secret sauce was Dan, our tester. Amazing job, just reproducing bugs and tracking them down, and when we needed, hey, we want an A/B, something going on with Eeep versus current release. He did a fantastic job of that. And then Dave P coming in to give his expertise with that. So those two guys really helped made our job significantly easier.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, drinking from the fire hose, so to speak, coming in 6 months, you're going to get Eeep out the door was definitely a good welcome to the lab.
Definitely a big team effort for sure. And I'm just looking at the skies and I'm just amazed. And it's, I don't know if there's something cleaner about it than even Winlight, and I don't know how you guys accomplish that because I've noticed the same are looking a little bit cleaner. I don't know how to explain it, how they look. But these are Winlights that I've been using for years, and I don't know, they just look a little bit different, and I like it.
I definitely like the transitions between as you select new scenes instead of the instant flip over.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
the
I
the little
agree.
fade in
Yeah.
there, that's for
The
sure.
smooth transitions as you walk between parcels and having the new environment being applied. It's just it blends between them. It's yeah, that looks amazing.
I put a lot of work into that. That was very early. That was a very early. I must have this.
Yeah, it definitely a good feature because I love the transitions, really nicely done. So I think that's pretty much it. I think we've covered the whole community's questions. Any last comments from you guys?
No, it's just been a really fun 6 months, and we're working on a great team here. So I'm really enjoying the work and glad to be on board.
Yeah, a lot of people here. Definitely getting out was great, and the future's some interesting talks going on currently. So yeah, the future's exciting for us. So stay tuned.
Yeah, a lot of exciting things happening. Uh, this has been the best. This has been one of the best group of people I've ever worked with. So
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to the new exciting things too. Well, thank you so much, Ryder, Ptolemy, and Euclid for taking the time to answer all the questions from the community. Thanks to our viewers for watching. Keep an eye on the Second Life community blogs and, of course, our YouTube channel for future announcements about LabGab. Thanks, everyone. Stay safe, stay home, stay virtual. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
bye.